Monday is live.
Oh my days. What a night, what a weekend, what a show. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Glorious, glorious evening. It's been a glorious weekend for some. And for some of us, it's been normal. Things has been resumed. Like,
Default,
share,
default setting.
subscribe,
Default
leave your
setting.
thoughts in the comments.
Smacked you back to factory settings, my brother.
Yeah.
New background. He's not in the lounge anymore. He's in the cloakroom. He's chilling. New signings. Same old
He's
Spurs.
buzzing.
Yeah.
How are you otherwise? Look, let's start there before we get into it. Ahmad, how are you?
I am good. I am fantastic. I started my season of
He's
firing, my new signings
He's like
are
Gordon.
showing. Yes,
Like Gordon
exactly.
Pigeon.
Big
My
up Khalid in
signings,
the chat.
my signings are showing this stuff.
Lovely.
I am very happy.
Prem, how are you? That's the question I was waiting for. How are you? How was your weekend? Spurs lost. Boca lost.
I'm in a relegation battle. One game and you're in a relegation battle already. We are consistent. One thing you can say, we are consistent.
There we go. You know what, Prem? I'm gonna let you dictate the show. I'm gonna let you decide. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with your main chick or with your side piece? Do you want to start with your main chick being Spurs or your side piece being Manchester United? You decide.
Nah, we go main. We go main. Get it out the way. Get it out the way. Look, like you said, the bee stings. We were hands down outplayed, out-muscled, out tactically outthought. Big up to Brentford. But they just. But I was embarrassed. Not even angry, not disappointed, embarrassed.
It could have been worse,
Simple as
Abraham. It could have been
Yeah, it
worse.
could have been. It could have been the penalty. The penalty miss would have been 4-0. But do you know what? You made a valuable point over the weekend and before the first pod where you said even if Spurs lose, you're not at full strength. So if people are going to pick holes, wait till they're at full strength. And when the game was on, I was angry, I was annoyed, and your words just kept going in my head. Spurs are not at full strength. Their main players are all not playing yet. It's too early in the season. And you said if they don't win the first game, it's too early in the season to call it a crisis until the players are all back.
Exactly.
And that is what I actually you said that to me Ahmad, before the game and post the game. It's too early to call it a crisis.
No, but I
It's
agree.
too early if you don't have all your players back. How can it be a crisis? You can't judge them on that. And then it made me think it was probably a good thing that he gave Bergvall the starting position because he's come out saying that he wants to promote youth. We're not promoting enough youth at Spurs. We're going to be reliant on signing all the time, and you can't always keep signing players. You've got to grow within your own players. And he's starting him tonight again. So I think this is basically to prevent him from leaving before Tuesday, giving them opportunity. Because I think post Tuesday he's going to go to his signings are all going to take shape.
Wait, hold
But
on. Hold on. Sorry to break you. Are you playing tonight?
Yeah, we've got Charlton in the Carabao Cup.
Carabao
Is
Cup.
that at home? Is that at home?
So correct.
Yeah,
You'll
no.
get past them. You'll get past them. West Ham beat them over the weekend 4-1.
No. Listen. I won't be surprised if Spurs make hard work of this or even go out. And I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. To either be a very difficult game, or we will possibly go out here tonight. Remember,
I don't see Spurs. Spurs escaping.
sorry. I mean, the Champions League teams, you guys don't join for another round after this. And
We
there's I don't know
usually
if you
join
guys
in the
saw. I don't know
third
if you
round.
guys saw. I don't know if you guys saw today. There's this whole thing about the draw where the likes of yourselves and City come in. It's gonna be not the open draw. It's not a live draw, and there's controversy that this is um what do you call it? Not a conspiracy.
Script,
Not fraud. How do you call it, man?
scripted. They're
Yeah,
gonna script the draws
like how like
to fit their
Rigged.
narrative.
Would you say rigged?
Rigged, rigged
rigged
draw,
draw. That's it.
a
Yeah.
rigged draw.
Yeah, there's a whole thing that's going on about the Carabao
Look,
Cup draw.
personally,
Look,
I
look,
don't give a shit about the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup does nothing for me anyway. But carry on, Ahmad.
Yeah,
look. The thing is, remember when it comes to the draws, we went from you get a legend to draw the pot, and and that was like seeing the most legit. Now you change to a computerized system that's random to generate your draws. That's a really rigged. How many times must we watch Real Madrid versus Liverpool and Real Madrid versus Manchester City in the opening games?
the first season debut where I can say that I believe that it's not rigged because for time the Premier League fixtures is Spurs Arsenal's win the first 5 games. Spurs Arsenal is the North London derby, and then Spurs Arsenal will be in the new year, either Jan or Feb, and then the two teams are finished. You understand? Then the derby's finished.
Mm.
This is the first year
Yeah.
debut. I think we played each other fourth last game
Mm.
of the season. Even remember the year you won the league at White Hart Lane. That
Mm.
game was moved. That game was moved from
They
early
moved
in
that
the year
fixture
to
because
close to the end of
we were still in the FA Cup and in the Champions League that year. Last stand under
yeah,
correction.
yeah, and
Mm.
then it was moved to the end of the season. Um, Again, that's the first time I believe that it's not rigged because you can almost calculate who you're gonna play. Always same time, always roundabout
Yeah.
same. You know,
Oh,
so
look. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have no interest in that draw. I have more interest in the Champions League draw tomorrow
Same
as
here.
well. You know what I wanted to
Same
actually
here.
try just before we go off script? I know we spoke about going live on TikTok and all of that. If you guys are available, why don't we try out on it tomorrow night?
Yep, 100%. I'm done.
who's playing tomorrow?
No. The Champions League draw. I just want to try out on TikTok. I just want to give it a try from the laptop.
We can do it. I'm done. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
no.
Just as a trial run,
Um,
just to
yeah.
see. But Bram, just to piggyback of what you said, are you feeling a sense of too many signings made, too much chop and change, all of that, or are you waiting for the Marmouches and the
The
Savinos and
mom,
all of your
the
players to
mom
come
issues
back
a
and
done
all of
deal,
that?
by the way.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. Are
Oh, it's
you,
a
are you
long
I,
time.
waiting?
I don't believe it till he signed. Till it's
It's
signed.
done. Gabriel says it's already
You're
done.
being pessimistic.
Nah.
Yeah, he's keep on telling me this, and I'm like, it doesn't matter how optimistic you are. The deal's done. It's
Uh,
reported done. It's gonna be
Nah.
unveiled like later,
That's
like in
like
2 days
tomorrow.
or something.
Tomorrow is gonna be
yeah.
unveiled.
But
But
again, are
how
you?
I
How do you feel about it? Do you feel there's too many changes made, or are you waiting for them to come in? Because remember, they're gonna need to bid into the system, the Zerbi
yeah.
system, and all of that, of course.
Not too. They're gonna need time. But as we saw with the Premier League over the last 3 4 seasons, there is no time. There's no catch up. If whatever your ambitions are, um, in terms of if you want to be part of the title run, you cannot lose a game within the first 10 games. If you want to be part of the chasing pack for the Champions League, two maximum defeats in your first 10 games. Otherwise, you are playing catch up. And
Well,
I was saying
well,
to
I could disagree with you there because I remember us losing our first 3 games and we went right down to the wire when you guys popped us to fourth spot and we ended fifth one
yeah,
season.
but that's what I'm saying is that was like 4 seasons ago, 5 seasons ago.
Hmm.
From that point to now, it's a little bit different. And why it's different is, me and Ahmed spoke last night. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, England only had first 4 places Champions League, 5 and 6 Europa League, and if you won the FA Cup Europa League, there was nothing as a Conference League. There was no down to eighth place in England can play in Europe.
Ah,
Now, what's happening in the last 5 years is the fact that there is a carrot dangled for clubs right up until eighth place, clubs winning Carabao Cup and clubs winning the FA Cup.
hmm.
And I'll give you an example.
That's,
The
that's a
Carabao
lot.
Cup, the Carabao Cup, the last time someone out of the so-called top six won the Carabao Cup, besides from Newcastle last season, I think it's almost 10 years since somebody other than
I'm
United,
gonna go.
Liverpool, or Man City.
Wasn't that Swansea had won it with Michu them?
That was almost 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago.
Oh, I think Swansea
So
Yeah,
was.
so
Swansea
so
with
so
Micho
let,
as
let
the
me
striker.
let me
Oh,
just land quickly. Let me
Yeah.
just land quickly. So that's 10 years ago, right? The Carabao Cup. In the last 15 years, we have had the odds like the Portsmouth that won it, Wigan that has won the FA Cup because
mm,
the top five at that stage, Champions League was secured. So whether they were in far in the FA Cup or not, they didn't care. And the reason why this is my theory is not there's no fact behind this, my point. I think the reason why Pep made such a big thing about winning the Carabao Cup was it's the first trophy of the season. If he didn't
mm.
win anything at City, it was kind of like, listen, you're on the chopping block. So he
Yeah, fair.
secured that first trophy,
Mm.
built the confidence, and now we push from Carabao. Because remember, he won the Carabao Cup, I think, 5 years straight in
Mm.
a row
Remember
with
Mourinho when
Sunderland.
Mourinho came in? That was his first trophy also as well. He
First
said you're
trophy
going
as
to.
well. So from that point, it was either Chelsea, United, Liverpool, City. Those were the four winners of the Carabao Cup religiously for the last 10 or so years. Now you've got a Conference League spot. All of a sudden, your Brightons, your Newcastles, your Brentfords, your Bournemouths are not weak anymore. These
Mm.
guys have now got squads to compete to get into. If we get into the Conference League, it's money, it's extra football midweek. If they get into Europa League, it's more cash flow.
Mm.
So there's no such thing as Spurs with all this money signings that we are entitled or Spurs will be in the top six or top seven. It's nothing like that. Brentford
Mm.
showed it.
No,
Brentford showed
100%.
it.
You
They
carry on first.
they
Carry on. Sorry.
they missed out on a European spot just last year. Sunderland, I think Sunderland pipped him. Was it Sunderland or Bournemouth pipped them?
Sunderland on the
Sunderland.
last day.
Sunderland,
Sunderland on
right?
the last day, yeah.
Um, apart from Arsenal, obviously Arsenal went on to win the league. From Christmas down to the end of the season, Bournemouth was probably the most informed team or best
Mm.
team,
Mm.
playing wise,
Bournemouth and
points
United, I know
wise,
United only lost like
and
once, I
United,
think.
United
Mm.
as well. Those two teams. And look where it got Bournemouth, Europa League, and it got United, Champions League, third place finish, right? There's so much pressure on Spurs now. You spent all this money. I can't see Spurs beating Newcastle the weekend. I think Newcastle was superb against Liverpool. Could be
Mm.
a a declining Liverpool team where anybody can literally, take them to the wire. We'll see. I don't know about Newcastle, but also the thing is, a lot of teams now at the moment at home very strong. On
Mm.
the road, on the road, not so strong. And your guys that are on the road last year was Arsenal, Man United, not Man City so much. If they were on the road, they were good on the road. They would have won the league. They weren't that great away from home.
Mm.
And
No,
then
they weren't.
Bournemouth.
Mm.
And Bournemouth. Those are your teams that. So I think it's going to be, and that's what I said last week. The race for the title shouldn't be difficult for Arsenal. If
Mm.
Arsenal is in the title race by April, somewhere along the line, Arsenal fucked up.
Mm.
But from place for position 2 to 8 is going to swing
Mm.
until week in, week
I'll
out
agree with it.
because home win, away loss, away draw, home wins, and then it's going to be about who holds their nerve away from home and
Yeah.
takes points of each other.
Look, remember the transfer window still has a couple of days as well. I mean, Liverpool could sign. I see they're linked with Ismail Assar as well. Chelsea are even linked with Martinez, Emi Martinez.
Martinez.
And I've always said that if Chelsea get a solid goalkeeper in, we've seen it now that other night, our Sanchez has cost them as well. I think they are
Horrible.
going to be, I think out of the teams, they will be our closest challengers. And of course, I know City have the quality players. We've seen how the quality came through. I mean, if you can still bring on Cherky from the bench and all of that, they can still produce moments of magic and with Haaland in the mix as well. But Ahmad, let's talk Manchester United because you are one one of those. No, you weren't actually on the panel last week. My bad.
He's a United hater. He's a United hater.
He's a United hater, but he gives United's due as well. What did you make of Manchester United against Hull? Look, me personally, again, I will say, I've been in that position. I've seen my team go to a newly promoted team, the ground, and one thing that you do need is your individual brilliance. It's not going to bail you out. You need fight because those teams are up for it from the minute one on the home ground. But what did you make about United? I felt very underwhelmed and disappointed with United, to be honest.
I did also because well, it's so weird to see him do so well at the end of the last season to
I'm gonna just
now,
check
and
your sound. Your sound is a bit. Are you hearing an echo?
not
No,
by
not
me.
on my side.
I can also
Is it
hear the
me?
echo.
Let me just mute quickly. Carry on.
So to now you see him play so differently to what he played formation wise last season. Like you could see the errors, and it was so disappointing because why there was all this hope that they keep Carrick because he looked like the right person for the job, and they did do pretty well close to the end of last season with him. But when you look at how disorganized they looked on the pitch, it was shocking. It was like we were back to square one. And my thing is, I've always said it. They need they need time. I always said it's not the players, it's the managers. They need once they have a proper manager, those players will play. And I was criticized for it. This is a manager they can play for. This is the manager that they need because they need a big manager that can
But
understand.
now, but now I'm gonna play a bit of devil's advocate as host, of course, as you know. That's always my role. But I want to ask the both of you: Is do you see another situation of Ole Part Two happening again,
Well,
where you got a new manager, Bounce comes in, he gives you a new lease of life. He doesn't have to do much. He does what the interim manager is supposed to do, and then the next season, once you have your full on and like I always said. I still feel they only played one game per week last season. They were out of all the competitions. Um, do you think it's another case of only 2.0 again? Any one of you can answer that question for me. Doesn't matter.
I'm not. I'm not going to be hypocritical and contradict myself and say, yes, it is because, like I said, a lot of the teams that had 50% or 40% of the squad at the World Cup are guys coming back. Nobody's on the same level of fitness. There's a bit disjointedness in it, and I think it showed in them. It showed with us. It showed even with Liverpool. Quite a number of teams that when you had returnees coming back a week before the season, and you had the other half of your team, as we had preseason since the start, and obviously you have your star players that you're paying a lot of money for, that they have to play if they're off it and they make themselves available. So I think United also had a bit of that where you could see some of the legs were going in that last 20 minutes, last 30 minutes. And with how obviously they probably had minimal players at the World Cup, so they, in terms of fitness, they were way ahead of United. And I think with quite a number of teams, that that happened over the weekend where you could see. Look, even the Liverpool Newcastle game wasn't a great game in the last 30 minutes. It was exciting because both teams were sort of looked tired, looked jaded. It was, even the guys that they brought on came from the World Cup, so they weren't all at full fitness. So
mm,
I think what's affecting United is affecting all the teams, and I think the only team that's in a good space where yes, they've also played at the World Cup is Arsenal, but that's because you've done your work, you've got two teams at the moment. If Arsenal were to field their second team, they probably would still end up winning, have won on Friday night. If you
Mm.
had that 11 that started, if they were on the bench and you played with the Hincapis and Martinelli starting, Dauman on the right, Eze starting, you would have probably come away with a 2-0 or 1-0 win, but you would have still won because.
True.
But the other teams,
But,
United don't
but
have the depth.
but do you know what also I think also played into it, Bram? I don't know if you've obviously watched us a lot over the preseason as well. I didn't watch much, but what I've been hearing is that in the preseason as well, with the World Cup players, Arteta would give them 30 minutes in the first half and then make changes. Then another 30 minutes,
Yeah.
ring a few changes a while. So I agree with you. It also boils down to game management, but they've got Baleba coming in. Obviously, cracking player. I love him. He had a bit of
Brilliant.
an off season. He had a bit of an off season last year.
Nah, brilliant player. Ball recovery,
Ball
control,
recovery, everything. I think they need that legs.
defensive
But
midfielder.
As an English supporter, Bram, what does it make say? What does it make now for Kobe Maino as well? Because I mean, for me on the other side again, I still don't feel you can be going into another season with flippant Dalo and Luke Shaw and as your wingbacks, bro.
Ireland shows off in different positions. You talk about Maina. What about Santos? Because I feel they only signed him because they were, I'm just arrogant enough to think that they could go to West Ham and say we'll take Fernandes for 50 million and he'll just come to us because we're Man United. And when he opted to go to Spurs, because even though they had Champions League, like I was saying to United supporters, there should never be a contest between United and Spurs going for the player. United must always win because they are United. The fact that he turned down Champions League football to stay in London and play for Spurs, now they say, yeah, but you offered him 80 million, you're paying 80 million for the 40 million player. But hang on, they did that all the years. They signed Anthony, 70 odd million. They signed Maguire for 75 million. So why does the narrative change now? Spurs overspend because they've been doing it all along. So then they signed Santos. They signed him from Chelsea. He wasn't even a bench player at Chelsea. Now they went and got Belieber. So where does it put Santos? Where's he gonna play? I get they got Champions League football. So can you see Kerry taking a knock in a Champions League game? He plays Maino and Belieber together, and then on Saturday he goes, I'm gonna play Tillemans and Santos because I've got two sides. Or does he go with, I'm going to play, if Tillemans is doing well, I'm going to play until his legs fall off, like Arteta did with...
You are shocking, eh? You are shocking.
He was.
His legs actually showed, bro. Like Ollie McBurney ran him ragged. Like
yeah.
You are shocking.
So yeah, I think not just Kobe Mainu. I hope that he's going to rotate those players well and give them all an opportunity. But how long do you think he's going to take to settle on his settled 11, Devi? I mean,
bro, for me,
he's got
by now already. You're long enough in the job, personally.
If we all say that Luke Shaw's finish has to be replaced, right? But it doesn't look like he's got interest in signing a left back. He's Luke Shaw hell-bent. He does have the lift coming back from injury. But I don't think
he's been coming back for years now already, Governor.
Yeah. I don't think he's got interest in letting go of Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw will be their left back, full stop. And Dalla will be their right back, full stop. That's his tried and tested. He just looks like that typical Gareth Southgate English. If I trust you and I have a good relationship with you, you will play. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, fairs, no worries. Ahmad, I'll save our Arsenal Barcelona conversation for closer to the end because it ties in together as well. But let's come on to the other two challenges. I was very personally impressed with Chelsea. Like I said, I feel they will run us the closest as well. That front three looks dangerous. I still have my questions about the defense. City as well. Like I was shocked that they got the victory. But again, the old, like you could actually see that they are missing the players that they've lost in terms of Rodri, your Reinders, your Bernardo Silva, Gonzalez, who left now recently. And I mean, he even played
Kanji.
Kanji left to Inter as well, got a brilliant victory over the weekend. So what have you made of City thus far? Look, again, like we're probably going to run this narrative the entire evening. It's too early to call. I still think they'll be thereabouts, but did you get the essence of Enzo Maresca trying to be Pep number two too much in terms of his antics and his attire
He
on the
tried to
pitch.
play a double pivot like
Or
most
what it,
modern managers does.
I mean,
But
but I
the
mean,
players that he selected to play the double pivot can't play the double pivot.
exactly.
You you, you play a double pivot with Rodri and Bernardo Silva. You can't play a double pivot with two center attacking midfielders that doesn't know how to hold the ball and control the game. How's your centre backs
True.
gonna come in?
Exactly.
So
I
he
mean,
got it all wrong.
but do
The
you think
idea
he's
is
maybe
right.
sending a message to the owners that maybe, you know what, by playing Gay in the number six, that's saying, you know what, I know they've got Boadi, they just recently signed Boadi now. Do you think maybe that was a message to them, maybe to say, you know what, I need someone, I need help here, and who's not to say Adam Wharton? What I don't understand is why no one is going for Adam Wharton even.
I was speaking about Adam Wharton before the World Cup started and I also like praised how good he is and I'm shocked nobody is picking up Adam Wharton. Kid's insane. Absolutely
But
insane.
yeah, you just argued with me about how good he was when I told you the guy is a very, very
No,
good
but you
player.
try
But
to compare him to Pedri and Gavi. There's a difference.
There's a
no, I
difference. You can't
didn't
compare them to that.
wait, whoa, what? No, don't
That's what
twist
he
my
did.
words. I didn't. I
You
said,
did.
I said that he is of the English version of what they are, and if he plays in a better team, he could get to their level. That's what I said. And you guys
Okay.
would know he's not that good, but I told you he's a very, very, very good
Exactly.
player.
Exactly
Very
why
good.
we disagreed with you on the evening.
Exactly.
Nah, guys, he's a top player. He's a top player. Um,
You
I
can be
think
how top.
my honest opinion is, I do think that he's like Eze, man. They're very calculated in their moves, and big up to Palace. I think Palace guides these young players on right time, right moment to go. Look at
Mm.
with Olise. It was a case of, because remember when Olise came into the Palace team, they signed him from, wasn't it Coventry or Blackburn? He was signed, right? And then Palace went on that great run in that last sort of 10, 15 games, and Glasner just got there and he
Hmm.
bowled them. And immediately then there was clubs after Olise. They wanted Olise. I think United wanted Eze, and they were like, hold up, not yet, guys, stay put. Then Glasner put them together, and they became a very, very good team. But then Olise left. Um, they let him go to Bayern. Another season went by, they let Eze go. So I think Palace is kind of like telling him, just don't just jump at the first big money offer that comes. It's got to suit us, but it's got to
Mm.
suit you. Stay here and give it another go. You'll probably get the captain's armband for the new season. Look at what they did with Leclerc. He's got a big, Leclerc isn't the greatest of defenders, but big up team has got to move to Chelsea now. He's got a big pay
He did
deal.
well.
He's
He
at that
did.
age. He's at that age
I,
also.
I, I I always rooted for Let's I can remember when I spoke to Devin about it before he was linked with rumors, and I told him, look at this defender, because I was still looking for defenders, and I was showing him
Yeah.
Maxim Lequai at I think Werder Bremen or Wolfsburg, one of the two, I can't
Mm.
remember. That's where he played. And then when I
Mm.
saw him come to the Prem, I was so excited. But then he didn't look half
Yeah,
as good
took
as what
him
he
took him a
I
year to
was.
I
adjust.
saw the
And
last
then
two games
and
of
then
him
I
in the
watched
World Cup,
him
and I was like,
and
oh
then
my
I
god!
watched him
When
the
I saw
opening
him
game for
against Spain, and
Chelsea.
I saw him, when I started to break your word, Ahmad, when I saw him against Spain, and when I saw what Jude Bellingham did to him, I was like, oh my days! But carry on, Ahmad.
So when I saw him, his performance and how good he was for the opening game for Chelsea, I was like, that's
Mm.
the maximum require that I saw.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
and
he
it
was
took him
good.
to go to there. Look where it took him to go for him to
Yeah.
actually
No,
be
fair.
brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant.
So I think Wharton could possibly one more year, and then I think he'll probably go up north. Um, Liverpool, maybe City, United. I think he'll go back up north because he's a northern boy.
Yeah,
So
he's a northern boy.
yeah, yeah. Look, these
No,
days,
fair.
these days, the German teams, the Dortmunds and the Bayerns, they come knocking at the English players, yo.
True.
Ah, I
They
love
True,
it.
come.
exactly. I just want to get into a few of the chat here. Aslam said, but the small clubs are being stupid with the English players, man. Look, the market is already inflated as is. Elliot Anderson
Yeah.
fucked everything up.
Oh,
Who the fuck wants to pay 100 million for Wharton exactly? Elliot Anderson again. I'll come back to that. Seems like we're having a lot of late bloomers. Also, through a lot of late bloomers. Let's come on to the
exactly.
other team. Liverpool, Newcastle. Again, that midfield, I don't know. Like Liverpool, look, I know they are gonna get Barcola over the line. They are linked with Sa, but I don't know why, guys. I just felt like that midfield was run through too easily for me. I don't know why. Just personally, the Langer goal something just
It's too
didn't sit right
easy.
with me. I don't know. It just didn't sit
It,
right with me on that first goal,
there
honestly.
was a lack of passion and motivation to play, to run. You know, when you look at players, you want them to run for you, run for the manager, run for the club, run for the badge, to everything for the team. There was nothing of that. It was like they were lifeless bodies on the field. They were making like look at that goal, that Elanga flipping thing. Look at it. L- Look at how they are shaped throughout that whole process, and see if that and the way they move, if that is player that wants to play there. Look at it. It's
Just
definitely not. So there's deeper problems here.
I'm also of the opinion they're sitting with an aging squad. Their spine, McAllister, Van Dyke, slowly aging. They also
And
don't
there's
have
a
the
lot
most
of pressure
mobile.
there
They
already.
don't have the most
They
mobile
spent
midfield.
500 mil last season, and what did they achieve?
because I'm gonna start asking
I don't
questions
think.
this season about Isak and Wirtz. Eh? I'm gonna start asking
Yeah.
questions. The same like I'm gonna ask
Look,
questions about Eze and Jokeris. I'm gonna have the same energy for those two.
look. I think Dave. The difference with Izza and Jokeris is like we can say what you want to. Um, they've played their part that led to success. You know, Birds and Isak. Um, for Birds, I will say this is the season he's got to at least get to some level of the heights that he was built up to be.
Aslam
And then
disagrees with us. Aslam disagrees. Please tell us why, bro. Tell us why. Why you disagree with us.
I I honestly
Please
feel,
explain.
but my personal opinion is that I think Liverpool has got aging legs. There's no legs in their
And who
midfield
are the
like
aging
they used
players?
to.
Obviously Van Dijk, right?
No, listen, age not as in the actual age. Like in football, age is different. Football age, they've
I
got no
know.
legs. They don't have the speed. They don't have the to compete with other midfield. Like you said, they were overrun. Like
So
Ahmed
you
said,
mean
they
they
were
lack energy?
overrun.
They lack energy. Is that what you base?
Energy. They
Okay.
need
Energy,
to they
passion,
need to
motivation,
yeah
will, fight.
they needed like a believer to go there. He's got legs, he's got energy, he's got drive, and I think Liverpool need that. But they're also adjusting when you've had the luxury of Firmino, Mane, Salah, Nunes, Jota. When you've had that and it's taken away, you don't just replace those players overnight unless you're going to. Yeah, we're gonna start to spend a lot of money last year on Birds and Isak, but unless you're gonna go and get Benny Jr., Rodri, the Rodrigo at Barca, get Lewandowski a year ago or whatever. Now you put all of them together, then you can say I've replaced Firmino, Salah, and Mane. But you don't just replace them just like that, man.
Mm.
Of course, those are difficult players to replace. I mean, that was the most
Look at
the
listen.
most
Look at
serious
look at
front
look at
in the
look at
Premier
look
League in
at
the
the
recent
dumb
years, in my opinion.
look at the stupid answer. He says 2 seasons ago my midfield was one of the best. Yes, 2 seasons ago. That's what we're saying. 2 seasons ago they were good. This
But
season, and you could see it last season. It needs freshening. It needs younger legs. It needs more energy. That's what Liverpool need at the moment.
okay,
They,
but
they rely
now,
too much on Soboslai. They rely too much on Soboslai.
yeah, true, 100%. But I mean, let's be honest. Rio Ngamoa looks dark on the right wing, eh? And I mean, for all the criticism he's got, the player that you are linked with, Cody Gakpo, came through for them as well. What do you make about the Cody Gakpo thing, Gav?
No, he's gonna stay there, man. I don't think they're gonna
I
entertain
also don't
selling
think it
him.
goes. They've got
Nah,
Mamush and they've got Savinia over the line. Why do they need
I
Gakpo?
don't think. I think there's more chance of City
Can I tell you
paying the
why they need,
money.
why I think they need Gakpo? Sorry, Bram. Can I tell you why I think? Because if anything happens to Isak right now with the Katiga's long injury, Gakpo goes to central striker for me though.
Does that solve their problem? Is it
I
gonna
don't
make
know.
them play better?
It's gonna hold. It's not gonna
Is
decline.
it
It's
gonna
gonna
make
hold at
them
least.
play better?
No, it's gonna hold them there till they come back.
Nah,
You know what I mean? It's
It'll
not.
do the job.
It's not gonna do a job. It's almost like Richarlison played up front when Solanke was injured. It didn't do any justice. It didn't do us. In fact, Richarlison's the reason why we looked so bad on Saturday. He
yeah,
helped Brentford look better.
he was
If your if
bad.
your
Ah,
striker if your
Was
striker
poor.
can't hold the ball and everything rebounds off him like he's playing with Dunlop tires, shoots back to them, you're gonna look poor.
no, true.
Do you know what I mean?
I was like saying to
So
myself, I wanted to message you and even tell you at the time, oh my God, it's 2026 and we're still dealing with Richarlison up front for Spurs. Like,
I was
yo,
saying that.
he reminds me of
honestly.
Siabonga Noveti up front. Yo,
But
wow.
let me just get into the chat before we come into Arsenal and the transfer news. My midfield is under age of 25. But again, like we covered that as well in terms of legs.
We said
So
legs, not as in their physical age. That's what we mean. Is
yeah,
that they
Nah, we
and I
know
think
anyway.
that,
that's
man.
why. But look here on Liverpool. Do you think it was wise for them to let Curtis Jones go? I don't think
Look,
so. I think they should have kept him. I mean,
I think they should have
uh,
kept him because when he played, he didn't do a
kept
bad
him.
job. He wasn't
Yeah,
nah, man.
kept
amazing,
him.
but
Nah,
he
man.
doesn't do a
Nah,
bad job.
But he gives
nah,
everything. Whenever he put on the Liverpool shirt, he gave
man.
everything. I
Nah.
think that argument of him and Soboslai was probably added
Yes.
fuel to the fire for him
Nah.
going.
Nah, man. Nah. I mean, he's been there how many years at Liverpool now already? And we will touch on the Martinelli thing, and I'm probably going to mention the same thing, but there's no time for sentiment in football, brother. Let's be honest. Me personally, don't get me wrong, he's got a cracking foot on him. Scored some wonderful goals, but nah, I think Liverpool struck a good deal with selling him to Inter. Let me just come on the more super chats before we dive into Arsenal. Aslam says, shame, man, they're on a heavy rebuild and lost a lot of quality players. With Kakpo not being versatile, you think Slabo don't have legs, Ryan don't have legs, but you're right, we need some freshness in the bench, Nyani. There you go. There, you eventually came to the point of what we're saying. So
Yeah, eventually he got our point. Maybe
eventually,
I've got a
Eventually.
question.
Glad.
Maybe
It took you
I've
a
got a
while.
question for you. I've got a question
hmm?
for you quickly. Um, and and I think it's actually to both of you. All right. Um, in terms of your squad depth, Davey, I think you are suited now to make a solid crack at winning the Champions League this season.
Nah.
All right. So you don't think so? Not yet. Okay, but okay,
I'll tell
wait.
you why.
Okay, wait. So Ahmed, going to you at Barcelona. All right.
Mm,
I think you've strongly felt that you could win the Champions League, and I've always argued you to say I don't think
easy.
that you are as that good to win the Champions League as what you are in dominating your own league, right? Winning your league, your domestic league. I think there you've got the quality, the money, and the players. However, in Europe, Champions League, your squad, not your club, your team at the moment is inexperienced in winning the Champions League. None of them have won the Champions League, right? Unless with other clubs. I'm talking about with Barca.
Mm.
Do you think that this season um we will get to obviously the draw, whatever, that the winner will come from either of you because your squads should by now be ready. And out of the two of you, who would you think is best prepared or best set up to win out of the two of
Me,
you?
Ahmad,
me,
you go first.
100%, 100% me,
Why? Why do you say so?
100% me. Come, I tell you, I have come as close as you can possibly come to playing in a Champions League final. got knocked out in the
No, but he's
semi-final.
been there. He's been there. He lost in the final.
Listen,
You haven't been close to the
listen.
final.
You said one of the things is inexperience. That was with players that have never played there before in that big of a game, but they made it there. I have squad depth. I have consistency. I have a second team that can play. I don't see how I don't play a Champions League final this season. I don't see minimum the final. I don't I fail to see anything other. I can swap and change my front three at will. I can play 2 or 3 players in each position. When it comes to my midfield, I can do exactly the same. I'm bringing La Masia right. This Javier Espart is absolutely brilliant. Looks like he's been playing there 5 years already in that position.
And what about your defense?
And talking exactly about Javier Espart, Gerard
So
Martin,
you so
Bar-
so you feel that this season you've got the squad depth in terms of if you picked up 2-3 injuries now, you can still soldier on in the Champions League. I think in the league
yes,
you
100%.
you don't really have, you've never had challenges for 100 years other than Real
They're
Madrid.
walking the league. I want them to
So
walk the league.
yeah, so David, now same question to you. Do you
Same
think that
question
this
to me again.
because if I yeah,
Okay,
do you think
so
you this year?
my thing is, we've even without signing a left winger, right? We should walk the league. Coming to the Champions League again, what that final told me is we have the defensive capabilities, and us getting there was through our defense. And of course, we had the Martinelli that got 8 goals. Our attackers chipped in goals here and there. And the basis of us getting to that final was built on our defense. Hell, our whole season was built on our defense. But if I look at in terms of quality moments, in some point in time, which is why I feel PSG beat us, why they got back into the game was a moment. It was a quick 1-2 between Kvaratskhelia and don't know we played the 1-2 with and got in behind us. And if I look at Barcelona, you need an attack in the Champions League to break those lines. I mean, even before PSG dominated, Real Madrid were winning the Champions League. Why? Because they had a moment's kind of a player in Vinny Jr. So until we bolster up our attack, which me and Ahmad, we will touch on the whole Alvarez thing. I just feel, how do I put it to you? It's like, Prem, you know when you're in a kitchen, right? We all cook. So you've got all the right ingredients, but you need that special spice.
Yeah.
Do you
True.
know what I mean?
I get.
Feel at this moment in time, we don't have that special spice. Look, we've been in the final last year. The year before that was semi-final. Our first year back in the Champions League quarter-final. But if I look at all of those ties, PSG number one, which I've just mentioned, right? The semi-final that we played against PSG again. One moment of Ousmane Dembele. You look at the second leg, we were dominating that first period of that game until Fabian Ruiz scored. And then they killed us with their attack. The same with Bayern Munich as well. Yes, granted, different team. I understand that, I get that. But again, our attack, until we sign a player with a bit of menage a trois about him, I still don't feel we're there by the Champions League. And that is why, look, it's a perfect segue actually. Why as to, I personally, look, I'm all for everyone saying you don't want a player that don't want to play for a club. Look, I get it. It's similar like when you go into a nightclub, you're flirting with this chick the entire time, you're giving her the eyes. You asked her the first time, what's her name? She was reluctant to give you a name. The second time you go and you're asking, can I buy you a drink? The third time before she leaves, you're asking for a number. She doesn't want you. Fine, calm. I get it. I will openly admit Alvarez does not want us. I will openly say it, and I don't personally want a player that doesn't want us unless he wants to be there. But if he can improve our team with a little bit of X factor. Now, bear in mind, I understand Alvarez's goal tally last season, his goals to assist ratio and all of that. I get it. And people are saying to me, but in 2 years' time, he's going to want to go to Barcelona. Look at the player we have just signed. Bruno Guimaraes. Do you really want to tell me that is for the future? That is to win now. if you can give me a Alvarez that can guarantee me, and I'm not saying we're gonna win it, but I know he improves
Yeah.
our front line already. If he's gonna give me in the next 2 years a Champions League, then by all means go to Barcelona. Tell me any player that I've seen when Barcelona and Real Madrid come calling, they all want to play for Barcelona, especially if those South American donnies in any case.
Mm.
And the point is, we're in a good position to dominate now. But I mean, look at how messed up the market is. Is there honestly any players of quality right now on that left side or even up front? I mean, we're clutching at straws, guys. Like honestly, or what? Maybe I'm wrong.
You
That's
know,
a good point that you make.
you know
I
what?
think that was sorry, Ahmed, you go in. Sorry.
You know what? The Alvarez thing. It's such a messed up thing because this is a player that went twice, more than twice, I believe thrice, to the president of the club and told him, I don't want to be here anymore. I cannot make it
And
any clearer.
and
I
Ahmad,
already told Barcelona I want to go. Let me go.
let
Here's
me
where the
go.
problem comes in.
And Ahmad, sorry,
Here's where
sorry
the
to break
problem.
your word. Sorry to break your word. That what they did the other day to Alvarez was humiliation.
Did you
Their
see that?
whole relationship is severed. And what people can say, whatever, but if I rewind back a couple of years, Aguero didn't want Man City. He wanted to join Real Madrid. And look what he did for Man City. But carry on, Ahmad.
Mm. Um. So it's the thing is now is he's openly said I don't want to be here. He can't move in the city because he will get vandalized and the whole city is vandalized like the way Liverpool treated Trent. Suarez now with drawings. He can't get close to the fans. Now he's not even in the squad for training, as I read. He wants to leave. We have
He's
the
gone
money.
rogue. He said all of a sudden he's got an illness today. He didn't go train.
Yeah, we have the money. Here's the problem. You, the president, has come out openly saying that he doesn't believe we have the money. That's what he said. And that was before we spent the money on Gordon. I'm sorry, on Rodri. So we have the money. We all know. I'm not going to touch on this topic again about
Yeah,
financials. My
we've,
club
we've
was never
discussed
broke.
this many a years now
My
already.
club, my club was never broke. I was limited on how much I could spend. Now I can spend. So you paid 90 mil for Julian Alvarez. I'm offering you 100 mil. You don't want to take the profit. Here's the problem. After January, he can negotiate for free.
Exactly.
So take the profit, take the money, right? And take the money and make some profit of him or go nothing. Now they humiliate you in public. Now Arsenal come knocking on the door. He doesn't want to go there, but they will, to spite us, they will sell him to you for
That's
that
what I
exact
said to
same amount
Ahmed
of
last
money
night.
But
That's what I
to
remember,
said to
the
spite
Ahmed
other
us
thing
last night.
is, the other difficult
because
thing is that his family, like, remember, he played in England, right? As
Yeah.
City. And then now let's just say he comes back to England. His family cannot come with him because there's a whole lot of visa issues as well. So now you're already bringing a player that's unhappy and doesn't have a support system as well. How much are you actually going to get out of him? If you ask me right now what I would do as an Arsenal fan, right now I think we're okay with Solis. Eze, what I've seen, is going to go to the left wing. Then wait in January for Krupi. But don't blast your whole budget now on a player that doesn't want to be there. I mean, look, last year Jokeres was working for us, left his girlfriend, took a pay cut and all of that. I'd rather invest my stocks in such a player
mm,
than a player with Alvarez that's coming back. He
100%
clearly
agree
doesn't
with you.
want to be there. And don't get me wrong, I think Alvarez will do madness in our team. He'll improve us.
Oh no, definitely.
He'll improve us. But I think we would be okay until January when Krupi comes alive because, like you said, I personally think he's going to stay at Atleti. And then come the time to sign him on free, they're gonna lose out on him. Personally,
They're
that's what I
gonna.
think.
I 100% agree with you because the problem, remember, the problem it's a public fight. When I'm talking public fight, Atletico Madrid president will come up and say bare things like, "There's no way there's no way we're gonna sell them to Barca because Barca can't afford him." Then Joan Laporta comes out and say, "We don't care what they say. We have the money." Blah blah blah. It's like two. people candidates fighting for presidency.
But
Yeah.
gents,
I was,
like
I was,
personally,
The
sorry,
media is
sorry, Bram, but
Maybe
why
I
would
was,
you
yeah.
want such a player still at your club, man? Why would you want that hanging over your club?
that's the thing. That's
Remember
the thing. It's a whole
with these
political
fights,
thing.
the Madrid, it's not just Real, it's Atletico as well. The hatred of Barca, um, with the
The
Basque
hatred
region and
is
stuff
deep,
like
my
that.
brother.
So the hatred is deep. So they don't
Really.
care if they are. I do believe that there was a infiltrate, a sort of influence by the chairman of Atletico and the board with the supporters to say, make him feel so bad that he decides to go to Arsenal. Make him feel so bad that make it unbearable for him. But
That he needs to leave
don't let
now,
him.
and then
Don't,
Arsenal
yeah,
is the only
don't
one.
let him. Because remember, if he stays and he goes next year on a free, right, he'll end up at Barcelona, and they're gonna look like, you know what, he ended up there. But if
Exactly.
they sell him, to you, it's a little bit more difficult for him to go directly to Barca because he's now owned by somebody else. So
Yeah.
I personally think that he'll end up at Arsenal. I think he's gonna end up at Arsenal. But again, like you said, Devi, he doesn't really want to be there. What are you actually gonna get out of him? You know,
That's
um, he's got no. Listen, he's got no option other than to. If he wants to get out of Atletico, is to go to Arsenal.
because the owners, everyone, the president of Atletico said we're only gonna listen. We're listening to Arsenal, anyone but Barcelona.
Yeah,
But I
He said
personally,
that publicly yes, in a statement.
he said that I saw it earlier. I personally get it. But Ahmad, you posted something in our group yesterday, and actually interesting about Martinelli. Look,
Yes.
I'll share my personal feelings on it as well. And Bram, I don't know if you saw Ian Wright's interview that's saying it's horrible. He felt uncomfortable. The way we've treated him. Me personally, I feel that Martinelli has stagnated. In fact, it's gone backwards. I feel the fact that we're getting as much money for him is it's a miracle. He is now our highest sold player since Oxlade Chamberlain. Even before that was Nicholas Anelka. So that already shows you how shit we sell. But where are you on it? Because for me, that's not a crash. This is top level sport. And there was years ago where I had him. This is me. I can't speak for all other Arsenal fans. But in the first year we competed for the league, I saw his ceiling higher than Saka. But
Mm.
right now, at the level that we are at now, we need to level up. The same way as the club moved past Zinchenko and Jesus, granted what they done for us, all of that. But I don't have any sentiment. I have no ill feelings towards it. If he must go, I don't know. Like I don't know how you feel
yeah.
about it.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
I also do.
But I
But
can see
one goal in a
why.
Premier League season. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
but
vital goal, but one
you
goal you can't get away with that.
Yeah.
and you know what, Ahmed, this is our exact point last night about today's football. Wingers are viewed as goal scorers because
Mm.
if you look at his overall play, Davy, he's not bad. Like as a winger, he gives you momentum. He gives you the same impetus as what Noni Madueke does. But I think Madueke is going to be at
Oh my
Arsenal a lot
god. I know you
shorter than
didn't
what
just say that, man.
shorter, shorter than. Just let me finish. Shorter than what Martinelli stay is because Madueke again, he takes Arsenal forward, right? He bombs forward, he pushes all that momentum, but then he's also the architect of why it all falls flat in the final third because he's got no end product. He doesn't have goals, he's got no end product, and he's gonna be judged eventually on your actual goal contribution, which isn't a lot. And I think Martinelli's fell foul of that because people are now judging him on his goal contributions, and they're like, but he's been here how many years? Look at how many goals he's scoring. Apart from like you mentioned earlier, Dave. Apart from his Champions League goals last year, what did he do in the Premier League? I think he didn't do badly playing wise, but Salah and Thierry Henry, blame them because they turned it into that wingers. Your winger can be your top goal scorer. You don't need a forward to be a top goal scorer. I'll do it. And we expect wingers today to you must be able to finish. And Martinelli is not a finisher. He struggles to. He'll never score you 20 goals a season. Never.
Exactly. It comes back
And I
to
think
what I
But
said.
I always saw him
look
as
at
the person that he's good enough to beat his man and deliver
yeah.
crosses, inside balls. That is what he was good
I
at
don't think he
because
beats his man anymore, Ahmad. He does this whole tappy
not
tappy thing with
anymore.
this.
But
It does this
yeah, not
tappy tappy
anymore.
thing, and
But
then
when
it
he
cuts
came
And
back.
on,
I
bro,
think I
But
he
think
again, it comes back to like Ahmad. What's your front three
now
that played over
currently.
the weekend? Right, that played over the weekend.
It's the Lamine, Rafinha,
And Gordon,
um, and Gordon.
right?
but
You
didn't
saw
Gordon
what
come off the
Gordon did.
bench?
We saw what
Didn't
we
Gordon
saw
come off
what
the
Gordon
bench?
did over the weekend, right? We saw what he did. And you guys even have Fermin Lopez that can slot in there and done well as a striker over the weekend. Brilliant goal, well taken, right? We look at PSG, their front three. I don't need to wax lyrical, we all know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we honestly say that yes, Martinelli has scored vital goals, but I can go back to in a semi-final on the Emirates in the Champions League when we played Martinelli clean through and hit it straight at Donnarumma. Do you know what I mean? That's those fine margins when it's gonna take to win a Champions League as well. And that's it's like Khalid was saying, we need to improve, and obviously Madueke, one of the most frustrating players. But yeah, let's come on to La Liga rep. Ahmad,
David, I just want to on just before you go on to that, um, you said like about Martinelli, his ceiling, and I said about he's going to be judged on goals. A player that I feel is close to also being judged is Saka. As soon as he's going to
no,
stop scoring,
100%.
as soon as he's going to
100%.
stop scoring, people are going to say he's finished
Hundred
because
percent, hundred
because
percent.
he's take 3 years
There's
ago.
people that's
Three
already
years
feeling
ago,
that way now.
yeah, 3 years ago, for me, he was probably Arsenal's most dangerous player. That's where the star boy tag came. If you look at him over the last year or two, I don't see him as being as dangerous as what he was 3 seasons ago. And
Look, of
and
course,
maybe
you
maybe
could
it's
put it down to his
because
hamstring. You could
the
put it
goal,
down to his hamstring injury, Gav. You could
yeah.
put it down to his hamstring, that toe of his bone. I get that.
So
Yeah, that was massive.
as soon as the minute the goals dry up, then people forget and look at the assists. They look at your part in the goals being scored. Now it's again, but when else did he score? When else did he contribute? And I think with Martinelli, unfortunately, he was never the guy with the assist. That cross that was finished by somebody. Saka's always that guy. It's either Saka scores or Saka created is that last cross before someone finishes. And now people look at the data of Martinelli and now like, nah, this one needs to go.
Yeah.
I think that where Arsenal are at now, he's not going to be the last player that's going to go because Arsenal at the level now, at the level where others are trying to get to. So at the level that Arsenal is very high now, the standard
No, facts.
is pretty high,
I
even
feel like he
defensive
got left
wise.
behind and stagnant. Because
I,
when
I
he
I I
wasn't,
wouldn't
he
use the word
was.
stagnant, Ahmed. I think the word stagnant is harsh. I think the word
No, because
stagnant is
why?
harsh.
Look when he came there, what type of football Arsenal was playing compared to the football that they play now. They shifted, and in that shifting phase, he couldn't
That
move
does
within transition.
that does
To
play a
move
role,
along,
Ahmad. He became more defensive. I agree with that.
and then
Yeah, but
that is it.
you became defensive as a whole, Davy. You are not
Mm,
as expansive as what you were. And I think if you say you got left behind and you got stagnant, then maybe he's not adjusting very well to what everybody else is
mm,
adjusting to. We defensive, we solid, don't give the ball away, don't lose it. Where
mm,
he's more still of the Maverick type that you guys were 2, 3 seasons ago, where Arsenal was probably the most exciting team. And he
mm.
excelled in that because although he lost it, he can go back again, he keep coming, he keep coming. Eventually there's a goal. And then it becomes 2, 3 goals. And now Arsenal's more like hold on to the ball, don't lose it. So they went and got somebody else who doesn't lose it because Solis hardly loses the ball when he plays. He's more
I love
solid.
him,
He's
man.
more.
I
Yeah,
love
he's
him.
brilliant.
I'm a fan of him.
I
I'm a fan
love
of
him
him.
from what I've seen already.
I'm
I
a
know it's too
fan of
early to
him.
tell, and I
I'm
don't
a
want to
fan
do
of him.
this whole. Because remember when Willian came there in the beginning, Willian also did madness in the first game. But what Solis, I've been seeing it
Yeah,
since
but
the preseason already, and he
Million
was the one
Million
player
was
that we
old.
actually mentioned.
William, we all knew he was just there for the bag. He wanted to stay
But
in London.
Solis, I like
It was
him
the paycheck. No, no,
out.
Ahmad, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. William
It
played his
was.
best football for Chelsea. Arsenal, why they signed him, God knows why they went and signed him. And he was very happy just to pick up the check. He couldn't care
Yeah.
less whether you're going to love
The
me or hate
rival.
me, curse me. The Chelsea fans will always love me, irrespective of whether I'm wearing your shirt. So
Motherfucker
for
came back
him,
to the
it
moods
was
of also.
so for him it was a case of I'll pick up the cash and whether I play. If I don't play, I don't play. He couldn't care. Look at him at Fulham. He looks like the Willian that was at Chelsea. He's full of
Exactly.
Yeah,
running.
Totally different.
He's full of. So I
totally
think at
different player.
Arsenal it was like sleeping with the enemy. I'll take your cash and you can boo me. And plus it was COVID. There was no one to shout at him or boo him. So he was just luckily picking up the cash and eventually I said he must go and he's like, cool, I'll go. Thanks for paying me
It
for two
was.
years.
It's actually the one of the worst signings ever. But again, I agree with Khalid. Arteta's playing different type this year, so now we need players to be more in attack, and Solis is him now. No, 100%. I love Solis, especially
Definitely.
for market value for what we got him. I love watching him. Honestly, he's direct. I'd
It's
even dare and
exactly
say it. He gives more than what Trossard gives us. Actually, maybe not finishing ability, but from what I've heard of what I've seen, if I look at his numbers on transfer mark, he always gets a goal or assist the other game, and that's all we need. We need efficiency. So there's one word I could describe Solis right now. It's efficient. Ahmad, let's come on to your game, my brother. 5-0. What a way to start. Not as stressful as Real Madrid the previous evening. And big up Aubameyang. Why are we not talking about Aubameyang? It's
I
on
was
two
gonna
on
get to
two.
that. That was my first thing. Aubameyang, welcome back to La Liga at Deportivo. Um, absolutely brilliant. Love seeing Oba back. But to touch on my team, couldn't be happier. Remember, we sat here not too long ago when we were discussing them and this whole striker situation, and then we went for Gordon and Adeyemi, and I said, if you think it doesn't make sense, it makes sense to Flick if you think
Mm,
about it in the long run.
mm,
Why? There's a reason why he signed certain players. There's a reason
mm.
why he signed Adeyemi and Gordon and not Rashford. He knows Gordon is famous for his athletic ability, and he needs that. Somebody that can run full force 90 minutes non-stop, like what Rafinha does for us currently, every game.
No, facts.
Exactly.
And
Fact. And we
and
saw them
that's
thrive.
and
We saw that we didn't need a striker.
no, you don't. Like I said, Fermin did quite well and he even showed signs on his goal
Fermin
that
popped up there. Adeyemi popped up there.
I was
Rafinha
about to
popped
say.
up there.
And
Dani Olmo popped up there.
you have mentioned that you and I as well have mentioned it quite a few times that Lewandowski, the legs coming. Again, we're talking about a lot of legs tonight, but the legs weren't there. But now you've got that dynamicness. You absolutely ripped Elche to
We got
pieces.
speed demons. Rafinha is extremely fast. Gordon, we all know. Adeyemi, we all know. These are players that can run at full top speed, 30 odd something kilometers an hour for 90 minutes. It
True,
was
but there is
brilliant.
one. There is one. I don't want to even call it a blemish. There is one incident that has made the news. And this is one of the players who you've also been critical about, not about his footballing ability, but in terms of his attitude. And you know where I'm going with this. What did you make of Lamine Yamal sulking on the bench?
Ah, you need to grow a pair of balls. You know what? What I like. This game wasn't a. He's trying to make this game about him. He was flopping. What I liked was Flick wasn't afraid to go. Hey, no, come here. We don't care you sulk. You the main man at the club, but you're still a team here. And I like the fact that Flick humbled him. Flick
Mm,
told him, hey, no, come here. I have other players that can do this job. And the way we won showed him that this team can win games like this without me. So I should either rid myself recht, fix all the shenanigans that's happening off the pitch with his girlfriend nonsense and blah 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 blah. Again, you don't listen. Fix that or learn how to separate your personal from your professionalism. Because
mm,
otherwise, Flick already showed you he's not afraid to take you off, and the next game he will show you that he's not afraid to not start you
Mm, facts.
because
Look,
we
he
have.
is. I won't lie. He is the master of the Trivela pass. Like that one Trivela pass that he gave. Oh my days.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I would rather have him start every game, regardless of what. But he needs this. He needs to be humbled.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
sorry. I'm not gonna sit there and defend my player. He's brilliant. Obviously, we all know how brilliant he is. But he needs to fix that because if it becomes a problem, boss is not afraid to replace you.
Prem, where do you stand on the whole Amin Yamal issue? Because it's been in the media a lot, and obviously you had a player like Harry Kane, whose ability is on a different level, of course, but he prefers to stay out of the media. I don't know as much as I used to pick at Harry Kane, but I used to pick at him because he's brilliant and he played for your team. But obviously now I love him though. But compared to Harry Kane, that stays out of all the media, out of the limelight, just does his job, goes home to his family. What do you see for Lamine Yamal this season, though? I know it's a dumb question to
I,
ask.
I, I would have rather. I think Kane's not a better. I think a better example would have probably been Ronaldo because I think at the age, at the sort of similarities of ages. I mean, Harry Kane was sort of going on loan to lower league clubs. I mean, at 16, 15, 16, 17, and Boss's first team. So I think I would have more looked at like a Rooney or comparison or Ronaldo. And I think that with this, everybody back then said, they must put Ronaldo in his place, put Rooney in his place. Time will tell whether the off-field shenanigans actually is it all acting so that or part of it gives him a sort of a persona, bad boy image. People love a bad boy, like Ronaldo, and it grows his portfolio because if and we also with Harry Kane being a good boy, you're not always everyone's sort of favorite. People are not invested in your life. The money that comes with being a bad boy, not bad as in such, but I mean the attitude and the
Flamboyance,
prima donna,
basically.
yeah,
The
and the
flamboyance,
prima
yes.
donna, the prima donna, the
Set
diva,
up,
the
man.
diva.
Set up, set up, set up, set up, set up, set
I'm
up.
sitting up. What's wrong with you?
You're not
So
setting up the way. So you're not setting up the way you were when we started the pod. Amado, is it just me?
it's a no, it's
No,
a
man is
laptop.
laying here.
He's laying here.
So what I'm saying is that I think sometimes it's all for the cameras. Um, but I think he's that good man. I hope that in a year or two he's still producing at this level and that the fame doesn't go to his head and he becomes a Dali Ali that in 4 years' time he falls by the wayside. All because of off field things.
I'm
Because he's
glad you
young
My
mentioned
and
that,
thing
man,
is
because
this.
that's where I was going.
My
That's where I
my
was
thing is
going with it.
this.
Actually, I'm glad you
My thing is
mentioned it.
this. My thing is this. I don't care about your offshoot shenanigans if your performance on the pitch is still as brilliant
and
as
he's
it
still a
always
child.
was.
Same.
I mean, he's still a
I was about to
young
say he's
boy
still a
that's going
baby.
to
He's a
make.
baby.
He's gonna make mistakes, and he's going to be the fame. Remember, it came to him so quick. He wasn't just like a Dalman who's a youngster thrusted into Arsenal's team, but Dalman's not on every little thing on the TV now, on every ad, Lamin's different. Lamin's marketing and all of these things is very, very different. He's on that scope of the top footballers out there in terms of marketing, media coverage, and stuff like that. So it's different, man. Max Diamond, you don't see Max Diamond on TV advert. You don't see him on
My
YouTube
thing
ads.
is this isn't his first season.
But
Hmm.
still, Ahmed, he's still a young man, and the level
How
at
can we
which he's
throw that
growing.
only when this happens? Why can't we need to throw it both ways then?
But we
Facts.
never spoken about it.
I'll
We're only
agree with
speaking
that.
about it now. We're only speaking
Yeah,
about it
I don't
now.
think you can put the whole I'm young and this fame is too quick thing on me. He's been dealing with it to now. For how long? He knows exactly what he's doing. He's mature enough to know what
Hmm.
he's doing and know how to handle the stuff and
Rooney
how
slept
he
with
moves his
grannies when he
money
was in
and
his
how he
20s already.
Yeah.
So what?
Valid point, Gav. Valid point.
Dude, I mean, you can't say he's
Valid.
mature enough. He's mature enough. He's not. He's not. He's not mature enough, Ahmed. He's not mature enough. He
So
is
how's
still
he been
growing.
getting with it now? This is like the third, fourth season already.
I think it's his fourth, maybe even third.
So
Fourth.
But
what
that's
was he not mature the other times when he was handling
again,
it?
Ahmed, the level of how his fame is growing compared to other 19, 20-year olds.
It's different.
He's operating at NBA basketball
Yeah,
level status
yeah,
still.
he's won the
You
World Cup, the
understand?
Euro, the Nations League already.
I understand. You look at any other 20-year-old now currently, Alex Scott at Bournemouth. No one's gonna know who he is if he walks in the street.
Hmm.
Unless you into football. But
Yeah.
every kid these days knows. My aunt is 4 years old. He knows who's Lamar. Ask him who's Alex Scott. He thinks he's a character from Marvel. He doesn't know who that is. That's what I'm saying is the level that Lamine is at is so quick and it's growing and it's rapidly growing. Eventually it could take its toll on him. Or he could be like Ronaldo was, Cristiano Ronaldo. Absorb it all and still perform on the pitch.
I think
My
he's always
thing,
got that.
my valid thing is just you can't question his maturity now and not question his maturity of how he's been handling it last season and the season before.
Yeah.
Because last
Ty
season he was a he was a
Has
double.
said that on multiple occasions already.
Last season
On camera
he
and off
started as a
camera.
double La Liga winner, Nations League winner.
Hmm. You should be accustomed to it
He's
already,
also
fam.
already there and he handled it. He added a World Cup to it now in another league.
Which I don't think it
So
was all that even in
where's
the
his
World Cup.
maturity now when it
Mm.
was there? You can't question the maturity here and say no, it's his maturity. You must look. He's trying to handle things. He's been handling it.
Because
He's
I mean,
been coming into the
I
season as a
felt,
winner,
I
as an
personally
MVP,
felt,
as a young player of the year, as a this, as a that. He already has it.
I
He's already been handling it.
look, you're a Barca fan, obviously, so you're more invested in me than obviously, but I personally felt it took away so much from the Barcelona performance on the evening. To go away from home on your opening day, looking at what Real Madrid scrambled over a last minute
Now they
winner.
escaped with 3 points.
And I felt personally like Barcelona just won 5-0 away from home. And we're talking about Lamine Yamal. I felt it took away from it a bit,
It does.
personally.
That does a lot because Barca
It
was
I,
does
yeah,
a lot.
that was a buzz. That was a dream to watch.
yeah, but look,
Barca was
Because
it's
a
like
like
dream.
we
that
all said,
match
he's a
was
kid.
insane.
Before
Pedri
we come into
once
man of the
again.
week and flop of the week, last night was the PFA Awards. What the fuck is going on with this mic? Last night was the PFA
No,
Awards. And
Bruno.
a lot of
Bruno.
inquiries about it. Should Bruno have won it? Declan Rice had to win it because he won the league. Now, look, two things can be true. Two things can be true, right? Bruno had an outstanding season. I get it. It's an individual award. I've always maintained that. And I get where the Arsenal fans are coming from in the sense that Declan Rice played more pressure games. There was times in the season where there was no really much pressure on United and winning the top four. Declan Rice was competing for a league title and all of that. But my thing is, at the end of the day, it's the players that voted for it. So you can't really argue with the players that play against him. Or where do you guys stand with it?
Nah, 100% agree.
Look, it's the players. The any Arsenal fan is going to feel that one of their players had to win it. It's the same as every Spurs fan would feel that Kane is only getting the plaudits now because he's at Bayern, where he was way better
Exactly, Rastam.
at,
Exactly.
at Spurs, and he's playing in a league where there's no competition. So he's obviously going to score more goals, and he should have won. If he's going to win the Ballon d'Or, he should have won it about 5 years ago when he was on fire at Spurs, right? Ginola won. Do you remember the year Ginola won PFA Player of the Year? Spurs were absolutely. Spurs
Yeah.
were bang, bang, bang average. Bang average. You know?
But that was with a Holston kit, no? It was with a Holston kit that year.
Yes.
Hewlett Packard. We had Hewlett Packard.
Yeah,
Yes,
Packard, yeah,
yes.
you know, yeah.
Hewlett
And
Packard.
Pony was the kid sponsor. Hewlett Packard was
Yeah,
the name of
Pony,
the
yeah, it
company.
was Hewlett, yeah.
So I remember Ginola won it, and it had nothing to do with the trophies that you win. But Ginola did win. Spurs did win the Carabao Cup, which was called the Worthington Cup. Then Ginola
Yeah.
won it with Spurs. So maybe it is that at least you need to win something. And out there, I can understand what if you're going to give it to someone, give it to someone that at least won something. Bruno won nothing. But again, it's not always about the trophy, man. It's the players felt that. Listen, what was it? 16 assists in the season. Talent
21.
contributions.
20 or
21,
23.
21,
21,
21,
he
sorry.
broke the record.
21.
Broke the record, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
21
saying
assists.
16 probably because 11 of those were set pieces, but I don't give a shit about that.
Now, so I just got, but the point that I'm
Oh, you're
making
talking
is
about, yeah.
he had talent contributions to United winning games and ending third. So with Declan, wasn't always maybe the influence as such. So
Are you trying
look,
to say,
we just
obviously,
support
that
us. We
Bruno
just
was
support.
more influential for Man United than what Declan Rice
I'm
was
saying
for
not me.
Arsenal?
Remember, I'm saying this could be the reason why players voted for him. Like David said, the players voted for him. So players probably look at who influenced the outcome of the game more, where there was an end result, and it's probably Bruno. Remember, we just
Yeah.
fans. We can all give our opinion.
Mm,
We're not
Yeah.
players playing against them or with them
Again,
who
mm.
would vote. You
to answer
understand?
to
So
answer Khalib, to answer Khalib again, look, I get where he's coming from because that was the year that Henri had 20 plus goals and 20 plus assists. There's only one other person
yeah,
that has done it, and
true.
that's the
That's
goat.
a valid point.
Again, the Ballon d'Or was voted by journalists, not from players. So it piggybacks into what you were saying right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can all have our opinion and try to justify why the
Look,
players
me
voted
personally,
for
look,
Bruno.
my personal feelings about it, Gav. I couldn't give a shit. I've seen Henri win the PFA play in 2002, 2003, but United won the league. I've seen Fabregas win Young PFA Player of the Year and United won the league. I've seen Van Persie win PFA Player of the Year, but United won the league. I couldn't care less about individual awards, honestly. As long as the team wins the league, you can give me 10 other PFA Players of the Year for the next year, as long as it's not an Arsenal player, but we win the league. I'll take that all day. So,
Exactly.
how do you
It's just
feel?
it's just an individual award. Yeah, I mean, it's an individual award. So I don't know why fans are getting. Nobody voted for
How
you
is it?
as
I don't
best fan.
understand.
Why?
I'm
Why
a
are you
really
getting like? You
where do
understand?
you
Why do
stand on
fans
it,
get
man?
upset? Who won
How
Bruno,
is it?
man? They
How
should.
could it be anyone else but Bruno? First of all, the man broke a record. Fuck everything else. How long did he
Yeah,
take
for
this on
me,
before he broke it? That right
for
there.
me,
And look at the side. It's so clear and obvious. It's like night and day, and how influential Bruno Fernandes is for Man United when they play. Everything flows through him. Everything. And then you ask yourself, not saying that Declan Rice is bad. Brilliant. Brilliant midfielder. But if you take him away and you put somebody else there, how much
Maybe right
different would
now.
Arsenal
Maybe
be?
right now because we got Bruno, but last year, if you take him out of our team, we fall apart, eh?
You
Last season was
saying
dark.
if he had to tow his ACL 6 months, you don't win the league.
Last season,
Yeah,
no. Last season, no. We done. No. Because who are you going to
you
put in
done.
there? Norgard. You're going to put Norgard or Marino in there. Maybe now we can slot the Bruno or Miles Lewis Skelly, but last season, no.
Mm. I hear
Last
you. I
season, he
just,
was the
I
most
just, I
important
just still
yeah,
player.
feel
Dave,
that that,
Dave,
that
you just
Bruno
touched on
is more
you just
influential.
touched on something. Nah? When you mention that name now, does Lewis Kelly make way for anybody else in your team at the moment?
Not right now. Not for me. No.
Is
No
he
No.
ways,
gone?
no. No, but
No.
what I'm saying is,
He's starting
On his
right
way
now.
out?
he's starting. He's starting right now. Bruno's just joined, not up to scratch fitness wise. Declan's not 100% up to scratch fitness wise. Right?
I thought Miles Lewis
When
Kelly is
they
gonna
are,
go out.
when they, nah, he's not going anywhere. When they are fully fit, Dave, does he make way for them, or do they sit bench for him? Because personally, I would start him over. And Bruno must fight for his place to get in the team. Just because we signed you doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to start. That's how I feel looking from the outside.
No.
And especially if it's working for you already, then don't be hasty to change it.
No, if
because
it's working. No, you can't
You
get
bro,
get
Skelly
real
out.
wins on the trot.
For
With that
me,
formation, that make Bruno work for it.
no, you can't.
nah,
You
Lewis
can't.
Kelly is doing the business.
I'd rather race Rice for a bit and then play Bruno in the six because you can play there. But you don't take
You can,
Skelly
yeah.
out. You don't take Skelly
Ah,
Yeah,
out
look, I think
unless you massive.
he's
I mean,
deserved it.
this kid is not a left back. He came into our team. Him and Ethan Waneri came into our team as a left back, not his natural position. He got his chance last year, and I think he was our best player in the Champions League final. And since then, he's kicked on. I don't think anyone in our team, Calafiori said it in the Community Shield, the first goal of Calafiori. There's no one in our team that can make that threaded through pass the way Skelly makes it. No one gets. For me, you work for your place in this team. Competition is vital.
and he showed that he's work to be there.
He showed he's done it. And the same goes for every other player. As long as Kai Havertz is scoring goals, Jokeris can't get back into the team. That's the nature of the game. There's many other players in this team. The same with Eze. Odegaard has all of a sudden found his form back. He cannot come back into the team. If Konza does well for us in the time that Saliba is coming back, which I think is going to be a long injury, Saliba must fight for his place. Right now, the way Mosquera is playing, I know it's only 2 games, but even Konza can't even walk into this team right now. Honestly, for me, I don't want it to be like a whole thing of favoritism or whatever. For me, you play on merit personally. That's the way. That's the way I feel personally. And right now, you don't want to fix what's not broken in the first place.
Exactly.
Personally,
And then again, also your game changing defender in Kapi, because in Kapi last year popped up with vital goals or assists or swung momentum your way because he's such a powerful like an attacking thinking defender. He sometimes put you guys on another level of going forward. You know, when you guys, there's times last year when you were struggling to gain momentum in the game, and he would drive Arsenal forward. And I really like him as a defender in Cup. I think
I
he's
also
very, very, very good.
I like Nkapie. Me, I preferred Nkapie for a period
I,
because he
I
was.
prefer him over that Mosquera, bro. I think in Cup is more.
I also prefer Nkape over Mosquera.
Look, but remember, okay, they're all centre backs. I understand it, and where they're playing, I get it. I get it. They're all centre backs. But again, look at it like this: Are you honestly going to take? Are you honestly going to take Nkapia out right now? Out right now, the way Calafiori is playing again.
No.
Calafiori is like a chaotic guy on the pitch. He goes wherever and he does his job. Do you know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think Calafiori and Gabriel is probably the only 2 that he solidified themselves at the back. That should not
Yeah,
be swapped out.
right
All the
now.
others can.
But again, Calafiori will not give us 38 games this season. I can promise you that. Yes, Calafiori is a centre back at Italy, my brother. But gents, I don't want to let it drag on too long. Man of the week.
My
For
man
me,
of the week. I'm thinking. Go first, Ahmed.
my man of the week, my new boy, Anthony.
I'm glad you said that. I'm
Mm.
glad you said that
Anthony
because
Gordon.
Kyron had a lot to say about him and why you're signing him for the money. But the way he was so unselfish, I mean, he already adhered himself to Barcelona fans. So
I mean, he could speak Spanish
before it
he
is.
came,
So that's
and
actually,
now
I
he's
like
just
that
learning a
when
bit of
players do
Catalan.
that. Like, as much as people give Trent stick, he could speak fluent Spanish the minute he got there as well.
And you
Bram,
look
your
at that
man of the week?
video of the show how.
My man of the week is someone. I'm gonna pick someone in the Spurs game. And I'm gonna go with Sangari from Everton.
Sangare. La, brilliant.
Um,
Sangare.
Sangare.
yeah,
Wissa was also good, eh?
Yeah,
yeah.
Wisa was Ilenga.
Oh, Wissa looked good.
For me, Lenga got lucky with that goal. He must be the most frustrating player. Him and anybody born from the same semen. Nice, same, but
You know
terrible,
what? You know
terrible,
what's weird? Is that I can't
terrible
even
end
disagree with him,
product.
honestly.
Terrible end product, bro. Terrible in the last third.
Oh,
He
Who's that
Sri Lanka
other
got
brand that
lucky.
played for Newcastle, man? Saint Maximin.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alan
yeah,
Saint
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maximin,
yeah. Alan Saint
brilliant
Maximum,
player.
and I
Love him.
liked him. I liked him. I liked him.
I
I
like
thought
him
he
also.
was pretty decent.
No.
Um, but I honestly that Sangari guy. Um, prior to the season starting, they, you know, the not the analysts on Sky, the journalists that write pieces for Sky, that Adam something guy, right? So they asked all the journalists, who is your sort of your one to watch the season, and three of them spoke about this Sangari guy. So I was
And they got him for cheap,
like
maybe.
who 39 mil, so who easy? But the three of them all said that, listen, this is the one that a lot of Premier League clubs missed out on. This guy want him
Mm.
to be the midfielder um of the season.
Mm.
And but they were not wrong. He,
No.
you know, he reminds me of Patrick
But
Vieira.
that's the
He
thing, like,
reminds me. He reminds me of Patrick Vieira
yeah.
with a touch of um Lampard about him also. That smart, clever passing, but he's got Vieira's strength and you know, ability to push people off the ball without really
Mm.
committing a foul. But he's got that slow nature like Lampard had. That
Mm.
so he's like a
That
combo of those two.
Lux
Yeah.
nature.
Can I be honest with you guys now? I prefer such players. Low risk, high reward, unknowns. I like such players.
I also like
Hence,
such players. I
hence
love
why
No,
players
my
like
he's,
that.
player,
he's, he,
my man of
he's
the week is Solis. My man of the week is Solis. Man of the week is Solis. Um, Aslam is going for Hal's coach. Palmer was also brilliant. Palmer, Morgan, Rogers look good.
I'm gonna with Chelsea. I'm going to. I've learned to, when Ty speaks, listen. Ty said they're gonna win 5 games and the wheels is gonna come off. So
Okay. Their third game
um
is Arsenal, so let's just leave it at that.
yeah, remember Ty said last week, no, they're gonna win 5 games and they're gonna impress you, and you're gonna think this is it, and then it's all gonna just come tumbling down.
Yeah.
So I've learned. I'm not gonna argue with
Oh,
Ty. I'm gonna wait.
another man of the week, the keeper, the
Okay,
keeper
I
so
think we're
was
going.
brilliant.
I think we're going a bit. Honestly, I think we're going a bit to Mikey Moore. What a goal! Spurs 1-0 up.
mm,
Newcastle's 1-0 down. Mikey Moore with a left foot banger. I
Oh,
do
nice.
think, guys, that the keeper thing, it's too overrated. He wasn't that great. He wasn't that great. Villa's falling apart.
yeah.
Do that when you're playing one of the top six, and I'll say
Okay,
one to
guy.
watch.
Nah, face. I get it. I get it. I get it. Palmer man in the week, rejuvenated and hungry for the season, solely second place. I hear that.
Definitely Palmer. Palmer, what a
I hear that.
shot.
Palmer look like his old self again.
Listen. For would you guys say, me personally, Monday night was game of the weekend? I think it was for me. It
For
had
me, it was.
everything.
For me, it was.
Everything. I
That
don't
was the
know.
first
In the
time I watched.
in
I
the Prem
actually,
League, yes.
yeah, in the Prem.
Yeah,
For
in
me,
the
that was the
Prem, in the
first time
I'm
Prem.
I
gonna be
actually.
biased and say mine because my game was entertaining. I won 5-0.
I
No,
love your game.
your game was. I enjoyed it. I fully enjoyed
I
it.
enjoyed the free flowing
But I
football.
think of
You saw
the
Pedri masterclass in my game.
Mm.
yeah
Flop of the week.
flop of the
My
week.
golden boy.
There's not even
My
a
golden
contest.
boy.
There's not even a contest in the Prem. There's
Nah,
not even a contest.
I'm going
My
United. I'm
golden
going
boy.
Manchester United.
no, damn it, damn
You
it,
know why I'm saying
no,
United? Can I? No, wait. Hold
damn
on.
it.
Hold
Okay.
on. Brentford is automatically a tough place to go to. Brentford is automatically a tough place to go to. We know that for years. We've seen Brentford do that to United a couple of years ago and win them 4-0. Hell, I was even last season against Brentford and saying, good God, just let me get out of here with a draw on the last minute. That Coyote guy that throws in those long throws.
Mm.
Brentford is automatically a difficult place to go to. We know that before the Premier League season comes. No one in their right mind expected United to lose to Hull City. Hence why I'm saying
Nah,
United. And the
the performance was
performance, there
shocking.
are ways, Governor, there are ways. For me, I can take losing, but there are ways to lose. And the way they lost, that's why I'm saying Manchester United. Every one of them to the touch of the T. You can't scapegoat anyone. I'm seeing a lot of people scapegoating Bruno and all of that. Or every one of them
All
was
of them.
shocking.
All of them.
From those two, Blescopo on the side, right through. The fact that Maguire was even running through and taking shots is embarrassing. United is my flop of the weekend. Ahmad,
My flop of the
I'll,
week is my golden boy. My golden
I
boy.
mean,
Lamine.
flop.
Lamine is my flop. Yes, it's a disgrace for him to put up performance like I can't go every season having a small patch for a month or two where my main player has off field issues affecting his gameplay. I don't need that because
Yeah,
that was also
I hear that.
his way. He is too lax now. He's a World Cup winner. He's a this winner. He's a that winner.
Mm,
He's got the ego. He's got the swagger. Blah 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 blah. And it's getting to him because you can see it on the pitch. Because
I hear that.
that game was a game for him to solidify himself. Start of the season, Lamine is on it. Everything
Mm.
looks good. He didn't do that, and that's a problem. That's a
2-0
massive problem.
Solanke.
That's my flop of the week because
Nah,
we've been here
face.
before. I can't do this every season with him. Every season I can't do it.
Yo,
Governor,
Raston
you?
Fredericks. Nah, Raston Fredericks, good shout. Alexander Isak.
Mm.
Ah,
That's not a bad, not a bad,
that's
not a
not a
bad
bad
shout.
shot.
Alexander Isak. Before we close, Dave, the Liverpool fans out there, how much time they're gonna give him? I'm just leaving. That's my thought. That is my final thoughts. How much
If he's not
time?
competing for the title or this season, they're gonna give him this season, then he's gone. If it's middle of the season and they below 10th, he's gone middle of the season.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think so.
I can't see Liverpool being there, man. He'll get it right eventually. It's just
It's too
difficult in
quick.
that
It's too quick to
setting,
go
your
from
old home ground.
from Klopp to Slot to what's his name, Areola.
Riola.
It's too quick. They weren't
Yeah,
even over the Klopp thing properly yet, and Slot is gone. So
okay.
it's too
Yeah.
quick.
Nah, face. But yeah, gents, I don't know. I don't think Bram gave his final thoughts. Ahmad, your final thoughts
Now
for
that was my final thought. My final thought
yeah,
was
Ahmad, your final thoughts before we
Isak.
come to a close.
How long are they gonna
So
give
we're
him?
gonna do the TikTok live. We're gonna trial and error the TikTok live thing.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna trial and edit the TikTok
What
live
time? What
tomorrow
time's the
night.
draw? What time's the draw tomorrow night?
I didn't check. I'll send you a message in the group and then I'll obviously do the thumbnail and
Yeah,
all that stuff in the morning and then we're gonna try and edit it. And Ahmad, you said how many people can I invite on the
on
on
the
the TikTok
live.
live?
It's like
I
five,
think
isn't it?
there's about 5 at a time. Yeah.
But can you guys show your face on the camera though? Remember, I'm new to
Yeah.
all of this stuff. I only just
Yes, you
Yeah.
recently
can.
qualified to do it on my laptop, so I've
Guys,
always been doing it
before
from the phone.
before 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 Khalid or Tasneem is gonna ask us about a stupid question, why is Bram gonna be there? Because we're not there. So they find us. Why
No,
am
but
I gonna be there?
we need a bit of outside, but the
Uh,
outsider perspective. So
Yeah.
I'm all for the English clubs winning it. I'm all for Arsenal getting to the final and losing in the final again. But I'm there to support
Yes,
the
man.
English clubs.
That's my take his jab, you. Yes.
Do you think David? Do you think David would be kind to say, "Oh, I hope Spurs to win the Champions League"? He's not.
no.
We
I
can't say
respect
that
this
you should
team.
not
I'll
there,
I
but
tell you,
I
I'll
I,
tell you
I
that's where
honestly
respect
you
and
this.
stand.
openly.
Listen,
I didn't meet.
I respect this team. I've always, and I've told him, I've always enjoyed watching Arsenal because I think they are a very, very good football team. They're a very good club. They're probably the most attractive club
And you
in
still don't want
England
them
at
to
the
win the
moment.
Champions League.
Nah, you wouldn't want me.
I wouldn't want.
Bro, can
No,
you
I wouldn't
imagine a
want to.
Champions League trophy here behind already? Can you imagine a Champions League trophy here as well?
So
Long
look,
day.
look,
And I still would have had to
we
play Aston Villa, who would have won them a Super Cup and a Champions League and a league all in 3 years. Oh my days.
yeah. Look at it's. I believe that obviously there's rivalry and whatever, but
Hmm.
if you have rivalry and you're ignorant and you're just petty, then you're not actually a football fan. Then you're
Yeah.
just an idiot. You can
Mm.
hate each other, but give them their due
Due where
and give
it
them
is
their
due.
credit. It's due, and you've got to
Yeah.
give Arsenal give them the credit.
Okay. I mean, Ahmad, me and Bram know each other now for 7 years, right? I think it's 7 years, if I'm correct, okay?
Yep.
For what, six
I
or
think it's
7 years,
longer.
maybe
Yeah.
even longer. We give each other banter, but afterwards we have a solid football conversation. So that's what the most
Exactly,
important thing is.
exactly.
And I mean, we give it to each other in the group also, so it is what it is.
That's
Your
the
final
best
thoughts,
part.
Ahmad, before we come to a close, my brother?
I think we're onto a good one. Um, I am excited to see what we're gonna do now for the rest of the season going forward in terms of Barcelona. Um, Final thoughts would be that I think Chelsea is gonna really, really be a contender for
You're a
the
fool.
league.
You're a fool. Anybody
So
that speaks about Chelsea to me, you're a fool. Idiot.
Come
Idiot, boy.
on.
Idiot,
they real
boy.
good. Why can't he
Come on.
try?
Sorry,
Okay.
Ahmad.
Okay. Remember that? I've got it clipped here already. 1 minute, one
Clip that
hour and
stuff.
35. Don't worry.
But anyways, yeah, I'm excited to see what we hold. We're playing tomorrow night. Real Madrid's currently playing against Sociedad.
Yes,
Midweek game.
yes, Real's playing now.
And then we play tomorrow night at Athletic Club Bilbao. And Rodri is starting tomorrow night. So I am super excited to see my Ballon d'Or winner play there. So yeah, only upwards from here.
Your Ballon d'Or winner didn't even
Cool.
win the Ballon d'Or by your club. But anyway, I see what you
Yeah,
did
he's a
there.
Ballon d'Or winner. He's my Ballon
I
d'Or
see
winner,
what you
man.
did there. But yeah, big up everyone inside. Love to everyone in the comments. Me and Ahmad will be on TikTok as well tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna do a try run
I'll
and
be in the
error.
comments. I'll be in the comments. I'll be in the comments.
We'll
So
Okay,
probably
tune in.
do
cool.
this. I think around Tuesday. Arsenal play on Monday night, so I can't do a Monday. I think around Tuesday just to review as well.
Yeah.
I
I know,
think I
bro.
think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But everyone in the community knows it. And big up everyone in the community that always make the comments. Like I always say, you guys keep the show going, and that's why we always stretch to beyond the hour. We actually say always we're gonna keep it underneath the
You
hour,
guys know
but we
how it
always go
goes. It's
beyond.
it's, it's
And that's to
tradition
the
here that we never
community.
go up.
So yes, people, it's DVD, it's Ahmad, it's Bram the Hotspur, and
Out.
we are out of here. Bless.